Hello everybody and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. Today I'm going to be talking about the 5 best Frank Zappa studio albums. And studio albums is of course a bit of a strange term in the world of Frank Zappa because he can record things live and work them out in the studio later. But if you look at his catalog, there is a big distinction between live albums and studio albums. And I might be doing another Top 5 list with live albums as well because, this is one of those artists who has so much out there. When I take a look at my vinyl collection, David Bowie, Miles Davis, Frank Zappa and the Beatles are the ones who are most represented. And Frank Zappa is, I guess, even the one most represented with different albums because he just keeps putting kept putting out the most incredible stuff. So, if you want to try out Zappa, if you want to start the whole Frank Zappa adventure, where should you start? Well, this is my top 5 of Frank Zappa albums. And I'm going to start off with an oddball, the Grand Wazoo. The Grand Wazoo is an oddball because this is not a famous Frank Zappa album like Apostrophe, which I did not include in this list. I love Apostrophe. There are some other major Frank Zappa albums which a lot of people think, oh, you should start off there. But I don't always think that they are the best ways to start off because something like this, the Grand Wazoo, this is rock jazz. And if I say rock jazz, you might think about Steely Dan or something like that. Nothing like this. This is such a unique, grand masterpiece in which, at the most special moment, he did so much incredible things, but not like he did with something like Uncle Meat or anything like that. This is really melodic jazz. It goes to places. This is a maddening, insane, brilliant album, and that's why I put it on the 5th spot. If you see it, buy it instantly. It's not gonna let you down because it might not be one of his most popular or commercial albums. It is not difficult to get into because it's really, really inviting. Love it. The Grand Wazoo on the number 5 spot. On the number 4, you know what? We're only in it for the money. And when I hold this record up, I should not hold this side because a lot of people might already know that these two they became the outer sleeves. They should have been the inner sleeve because the inner sleeve, that's this. This should have been the original sleeve to the record. But then again, this is a spoof on Sgt. Pepper's. Frank Zappa phoned Paul McCartney and he said, this is going to be terrible, my Frank Zappa and Paul McCartney imitation. Well, I would like to do a spoof or a joke on your Sgt. Pepper's album. Paul, would you agree on that? And Paul McCartney replied something to the likes of, oh yeah, but shouldn't our lawyers be talking about that? To which the Frank Zappa replied, but shouldn't our lawyers be talking to us? So Paul McCartney didn't want to go that way, and that's why they decided to put this on the inner sleeve so they would not have a big lawsuit on the outer sleeve. Now, I put this on the 4th spot. It's a genuine masterpiece. This is one of the grand albums of the 60s. It is structured chaos. It is comedy. It has incredible melodies. I was walking with a Dutch producer down the street some time ago, and he was from the era in which this was recorded. And we just started. We didn't know from each other that we were Frank Zappa fans, but he said something like, "I'm the Indian of the group," and that started it all off, like constantly throwing quotes from this record to each other, like you're quoting a Monty Python album, or a good film. And it's not just the quotes; it is just one of the most magnificent, brilliant albums of all time. Yet again, strange, odd, but melody-wise, this man still keeps on amazing. Great melody. Being experimental does not mean it should sound horrible or it is not melodious. And Zappa has this eye and sensitivity for melody and atmosphere. And atmosphere is also one of the things why I put this one on the number 3 spot. Hot Rats. Damn, this was one of my Frank Zappa start-off albums. When you kick off with Peaches and Regalia, then you get Willie the Pimp. And Willie the Pimp, holy fuck, it's madness. I mean, it's vocals are done by Captain Beefheart. And when I put this record on, I didn't know who Captain Beefheart was, but I was immediately impressed. There's this violin in there, and the violin does this tune, this very rhythmic tune, a riff. You know what you call a riff on a guitar, and the way it just keeps continuing. It's maddening, awesome. This entire album, it is one of the big masterpieces from Frank Zappa. Also a great way to start off, if you want to start off a collection from Frank Zappa. Now, on number 2 spot, I've had so much fun with this album. Joe's Garage. Joe's Garage is a concept album. It tells the story of a band, a young band who can play a 3-chord song, and they make it out big. And it is a parody on somewhat of the recording industry, somewhat of middle America, American households, and the attitudes within a band. And every song on this album tells part of the story, and every song adds something to the cynical way Frank Zappa looks at the world and looks at America. But yet, although all these songs are story-wise brilliant and necessary, all of them tune-wise are hit potential. They are so good. This is a very easy album to get into. It starts off with the Central Scrutinizer, which is, this is the first American US pressing, first US pressing, and this was one of the most intense sound experiences I've ever had putting on a record for the first time. I mean, when a needle drops this, I mean, the way Zappa intended it to sound, even on my old set, terrible set, it blew me away. There is so much power, strength, and detail, even in just the opening, with all the wackiness happening around you, the stereo panning. It's insane, but it's also so defined. It's one of the best sounding records I have in my collection. And the Central Scrutinizer is this brilliant opening. Then you go to Joe's Garage, which is this 3-chord song done Zappa style. It's awesome. And then you get Catholic Girls and Cruise Slut. Cruise Slut is... you couldn't do that anymore, a song like Cruise Slut. But yeah, I think you can. But Wet T-Shirt Night. Why Does It Hurt When I Pee? So many great songs, and it sounds... I mean, for me, there was a before Joe's Garage, the first US pressing, and an after. Nah, enough said about this record. Part 2 and 3 are also awesome, by the way, but not as mesmerizing as part 1. But awesome. So if you get into part 1, part 2 and 3 as well, because you're gonna love it. Then there is this one. Overnight Sensation. This is also a first US copy, but much stronger cardboard than the first US copy of Joe's Garage. Now I'm becoming this pressing noob. I already was a pressing noob. But this album, this is also the album I've listened to the most. There are so many good songs on here. When I was living in during my years studying, I went to Amsterdam for the first time, and I came here in this big house with 30 other students, and some of the other guys were also into Frank Zappa, and we could just sing along the entirety of this album as a whole. Because it starts off with Camarillo Brillo. She had a Camarillo Brillo. And then I'm the Slime with the most amazing, spectacular guitar solo. It's short, but it's so poignant and good. Dirty Love, Give Me Your Dirty Love. 50-50. And then side 2, the Zombie Woo. And Dynamo Hum, where's this dynamo coming from? Montana, Dynamo Hum. The stories, it's all... this is spectacular. You will not find any album any other album out there like this. It's unique, brilliant sounding, awesome stories, awesome lyrics, and it's catchy as hell. So, a #1 spot, overnight sensation. Well, that was my top 5 Frank Zappa list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below and see you in the next video. Bye.